Hi there. Welcome to the Manifesto. My name is Theresa Pridemore. I hope you've had a chance to look around the site a little bit by now. I thought I'd take an opportunity to introduce myself in a web video, tell you a little bit about me and about my project and why I started this crazy journey and what it's all about. First, to tell you something about me. I'm a storyteller and an artist, and it took me a long time to come to this realization of my own identity, to actually realize the core of who I was. I think that most people struggle with that question, although some people know right away, and those people are immensely lucky. I live in Portland, Oregon. I grew up a number of places, mostly in Mississippi. I was an Army brat, and so I was born in Germany, and we moved from place to place when I was a kid, and had a very strange, somewhat very dysfunctional family life, like most people do, I think. And definitely had a lot of interesting experiences growing up. I studied at the University of Southern Mississippi as a graphic design student, and I started my career in Portland as officially as a graphic designer, web designer. Worked at an agency for 3 years, and then I struck out on my own and have been running my own freelance design business since then, and I've really enjoyed that. But since I was a kid, I was always fascinated by storytelling. Basically, the core of the things that I'm interested in is storytelling. Everything that I love has some kind of storytelling element, or can have some kind of storytelling element. So I was obviously very interested in film and graphic novels as a kid. I really love the combo of visual and storytelling. So I would draw all the time, and I fancied that I would someday be a movie director or graphic novelist. I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do, but those were the two prime contenders for my affection. And somewhere along the line, I decided I needed to get a real job and do something that could make money. And that was actually one of the big messages from my mother, was that you have to make a living. You can't make a living being an artist, which is kind of a common mythos in our culture. And so I did, and I've learned a lot, and I've done a lot along the way. But ultimately, in the last couple of years, I've done a lot of soul searching, and I realized, that kid had something. She wanted to be a graphic novelist, and, maybe I should give that a try. Whenever I get lost, I always listen to my little kid when I can't find my way, because I think that kids often have a pure sense of what they want. So I did. I listened to the little kid and decided to launch this project that has been stewing in my mind for a long time. So that brings us to the Manifesto, and that is short for the Mephisto Manifesto. The Manifesto is two things. Obviously, a graphic novel is one of them. And the other thing it is a site dedicated to showing people that they too can follow their bliss, because this is my bliss. There's nothing that I love more than creating art and telling stories. And, I could have had myself fooled for a while, because I've certainly found a lot of other things to do, and it all works out. There is no wrong way to get somewhere. But one of the things that I have ended up doing a lot in my course of work is, and actually pretty much everything I do, I find myself repeating a common theme of trying to show to people that they can dream, they can achieve their dreams, that's not out of reach, and to get them to believe again in their dreams. So it seemed like as I was exploring what I was going to do with myself over the next few years, I realized that I hadn't followed my dream, and I wanted to, you know, in some way wanted my next career move to involve more directly addressing the topic of reaching for your dreams. And as I was thinking of that, I went, well, you know, Theresa, you haven't actually walked the walk, so you need to do it first for yourself, and then you can tell other people what they need to do. And as I simmered on that thought for a while, I realized, well, gosh, you know, I could do both. I could create a platform to show people what I'm doing and talk about my passion for reminding people that they can achieve their dreams. And the thing that's interesting about that is this part of this message is woven into the storyline of my graphic novel already. So it's perfectly entwined with everything, and it completely made sense to include that. So I'm going to talk about that rather directly. I know a lot about the creative process, and I know that there are going to be a lot of ahas and oh fucks and you know, along the way, where I'm going to be stumbling to figure my way through, because creating anything, it can be a very organic process and scary, and I think that's sometimes why we shy away from it, because we can't know what we're going to get. You know, what we may imagine may not be what it ends up being, but it's about the journey and it's not about the destination so much.